dark blue. You left me here when our time was through. And under the covers, beneath of the surface, I can't find the others that work out my purpose. I'm in the deep dark blue. I'm in the deep dark blue. I'm in the deep dark blue.
Welcome, race fans, to Phoenix, Arizona for race 3 in season 2. You know the drill: 38 drivers, 10 laps, and 1 winner. Who's gonna wave the checkered flag here in the desert? Your chances gotta be good if you're starting on the pole, but that's all Brad Keselowski has going for him so far this season. He's racked out of the first 2 races, which puts him 36th in points. He's still got a few races left in the regular season, but his Phoenix stats don't help him either. 27th place average finish. Let's see if he can turn it around today. And how about Carl Edwards and the start he's had of the season? Polar opposite of Brad Keselowski. He's finished second in both the races so far this season, and he has a 5th place average finish at Phoenix, and he's led 10 of the 21 laps so far this season. Carl Edwards, red hot to start season 2. Kevin Harvick has made Phoenix his playground. He's got a win and 2 top 5s in the 2 races. Average finish of 1.5, so he finished runner-up in the race he didn't win. And he's led 12 of the 20 laps that we did at Phoenix in Season 1. Kevin Harvick is a threat at Phoenix. And lastly, we'll look at Kurt Busch. Kind of flew under the radar last season, but he finished 3rd in both the Phoenix races. He didn't lead any of the laps, but solid result. Podium finish for him in both the races. Kurt Busch, he'll have to fight from P11. Let's see what he can do here in Phoenix. Alright, let's take a look at the rest of the starting lineup. Of course, Brad Keselowski on the pole. He's got Denny Hamlin on his outside. Chase Elliott, our Daytona winner, starts in row 2 with Martin Truex Jr., Carl Edwards, and Jimmy Johnson in row 3. Kyle Busch, Kevin Harvick, row 4, and Casey Kane and Joey Logano share row number 5. Row 6 belongs to Kurt Busch and AJ Allmendinger. Dale Earnhardt Jr. and Matt Kenseth in row 7, Clint Bowyer and Kyle Larson in row 8, Tony Stewart, Justin Allgaier row 9, and Ryan Newman and Ryan Blaney in row 10. Row 11, Eric Almirola, Danica Patrick, Austin Dillon, and Jamie McMurray in row 12, Ty Dillon and Ricky Stenhouse Jr. in row 13, and behind them, it's Chris Buescher and Trevor Bayne, Michael McDowell and David Reagan in row number 15. Row 16, Landon Castle, Greg Biffle, Matt DiBenedetto, and Paul Menard. Row 17, Casey Mears and Regan Smith in row 18. And finally, Brian Scott and Jeffrey Earnhardt in row 19. Brad Keselowski for Team Penske leads the field to green, and we're underway here in Phoenix. Keselowski good for the lead in front of Chase Elliott and Denny Hamlin as the field is going to fly through the dogleg on the back stretch. I'm going 3 wide, Logano back there, but Keselowski already a good lead over Chase Elliott. Now Carl Edwards good for 3rd in front of Denny Hamlin as Brad Keselowski leads lap 1. Carl Edwards in the start he's only finished 2nd so far this season, and he's looking for 2nd in this race against Chase Elliott. Carl Edwards to the inside of the 24, heading into turns 3 and 4. Carl Edwards trying to get by that 24. Elliott hanging tough on the outside lane as Keselowski continues to lead. Now Truex trying to jump into the fight. Chase Elliott making it hard for Carl Edwards to get by him. Edwards still fighting a lap later on that bottom lane. Chase Elliott holding tough on that outside. So we see both the inside and the outside can work. Elliott's going to fall back though. Carl Edwards finally takes 2nd from Chase Elliott. And now Martin Truex Jr. in his number 78 Toyota Camry. He's going after Chase Elliott. That's for the 3rd position now. And Elliott was able to hang tough on that outside lane against Edwards, and now he looks to be doing the same against Martin Truex Jr. As they enter turn 3, no, Truex actually got around Elliott quicker than Edwards did as Edwards closes in for the lead on Brad Keselowski. Here comes the 19 against the 2 into turn 1. Carl Edwards, such a good start to the season, and he keeps it rolling here in the desert. Carl Edwards to the point. On lap number 5, Keselowski trying to hang on that outside like Elliott did, but it's not going to work for him. Carl Edwards to the lead here on lap number 5. There's a battle for 4th place between Hendrick teammates Casey Kane and Chase Elliott. Elliott's still on that outside lane falling back, as now his teammate is after him. Here in 1 and 2, but Elliott a good run off the top still. He's trying that outside lane. Wonder if he wants to get to the bottom. No, we got a couple cars around in turn 1. That's Chris Buescher and Austin Dillon, who are stopped on the racetrack. So that'll bring out the first caution of the day. Let's take a look at what happened to Austin Dillon. Here he is entering turn 1, and it's his brother Ty Dillon who locks up the brakes and gets into him. And then Buescher spins as well. I think it was Ricky Stenhouse Jr. who came down into Chris Buescher. He was trying to avoid hitting Austin Dillon, and he ends up taking out the rookie. We'll look at it again. But yeah, Ty Dillon gets into his brother Austin Dillon. So that'll be an interesting Thanksgiving for them. And then, yeah, Ricky Stenhouse Jr. down into Chris Buescher. So Austin Dillon and Chris Buescher out of the race, and that means we're ready for the restart. It's Carl Edwards against Brad Keselowski, and a good restart for the inside line. Carl Edwards up front. Truex now going after Carl Edwards. Here they come down the dog leg. Casey Kane makes it 3 wide for the lead. What a move by the 5 car on the inside. 3 wide into 3 and 4. Casey Kane, a power move. He restarted 5th and he takes the lead. What a lap by Casey Kane. Can he hang on for the victory as the 2 Toyotas battle it out for 2nd place? That's exactly what the 5 car needs, is these 2 going at it for 2nd. Now we can try and pull away from them. Truex and Edwards can't figure out who's going to take this 2nd spot. And look at Kevin Harvick moving into the picture. We know how good he is at Phoenix. He moves up to 4th, and now he's going 3 wide for 2nd place on Martin Truex Jr. Look at Edwards on the outside lane, finally get around Truex, but Harvick is now in the picture as well with 2 to go. Here at Phoenix Raceway, Kevin Harvick after Carl Edwards for 2nd. Now can he get after Casey Kane for the lead? He'll have 1 lap to do it as Casey Kane takes the white flag. 1 to go. A good entry for Casey Kane into turn 1. Harvick running the lower lane. We know he loves to run down there, but he didn't get a good enough run down the backstretch. Now Kane into 3 and 4 for the final time. Harvick not close enough to make a move. It's all over. Casey Kane is going to win at Phoenix Raceway. And it all came from that powerful restart and that 3 wide move into turns 3 and 4 for Casey Kane on Martin Truex Jr. and Carl Edwards. Kane was able to take the lead there, and no one was able to challenge him after that. Casey Kane's gonna burn it down here in the desert. What a performance late in the race by Casey Kane. That puts him on top of the leaderboard. Kevin Harvick ends up in the runner-up position. So that's still his worst finish at Phoenix is 2nd, so not bad for Kevin Harvick. And Carl Edwards continues his podium streak. He's now finished 3rd instead of 2nd. And here's a few names back here. Justin Allgaier, he tends to run well at Phoenix. He ends up 18th. AJ Allmendinger has had a strong start to the season, 13th for him. And Kurt Busch, who I talked about earlier, he ends his top 3 streak here at Phoenix. He finished 3rd in both races in Season 1. He ends up finishing where he started in that 11th spot. There's Ty Dillon, who wrecked his brother. He ends up 24th, which is actually the best result of any RCR car. Ryan Newman, a lackluster day, ends up just behind him in that 25th spot. And then there you see the only 2 DNFs in this race, both in the same wreck, Austin Dillon and Chris Buescher. Buescher ends up last place in today's race. So that's it for the finishing results here at Phoenix. Now we'll take a look at the playoff standings. 3 races in of the 15 regular season races. Casey Kane locks up a playoff spot. So we have 3 different winners in the first 3 races. And still, I think a lot of these names are going to change throughout the season. But how about AJ Allmendinger? Good start for him. 26 above the cut line. And of course, Carl Edwards, a big 51 above the cut line. That's what 2nd, and 3rd will do for you. But that's it from Phoenix. Next up on the schedule, Martinsville. We'll go short track racing next week. And then we'll do short track racing after that at Bristol. And then the super speedway of Talladega. And then the prestigious Darlington after that. But thank you all for watching, and I will see you in Martinsville.